Hey everyone, welcome to the Reseller Stew number 24. Today we are going to be talking about why we sell what we sell. Like, what we like about it, what we don't like about it. Why'd we get started selling that thing anyway? And just kind of, whatever. We talk about what we want. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
Good.
I like your shirt, April. Look at that. Aren't you?
Thank you.
Sexy.
Right? How about you, Robin?
I've been battling a headache all day today, but other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not feeling top of myself today, so if I could have gotten away with not doing the show today, I would have stayed in bed. But I have stuff to ship out to you. And then we have birthday girl today.
Happy birthday!
Are you doing anything fun? I know you went to the beach this weekend, right?
Yeah, and then tonight my son has a band performance, so my in-laws are coming down, and we're gonna go out to eat before that.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Somebody's calling me. Don't know who it is. So, like I said, I'm not all here today, so you guys are gonna have to carry the show because I don't feel very well. But anybody do any shopping at all this week? Yesterday? This morning?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
We're all like, yeah.
This morning?
I went to the outlet yesterday and got a whole bunch of clothes for $17, so that's nice. Always
What?
nice. Whole bunch of clothes.
Ooh. What about you, Tanya? What'd you pick up?
I picked up these the Naked Archaeologist. They're like season 1, season 2, and season 3. And I'd never heard of it before, and I even looked it up on Amazon and eBay, and I can't find anything. Well, I mean, I found something, but they're like those many shows you can buy, but there's nothing hard copy. So, and I think that's a show out of Canada. So I think I'm going to put them on eBay.
I'm sorry, I was laughing at April.
I'm
like
trying.
You put a Polly Pocket hat on a Barbie doll.
I know, as if my hair isn't big enough. You had the headphones in, and it's just, this is hopeless. But it's just gonna sit here.
Did you pick up anything really good, Robin? Like anything new brand you didn't know about?
No.
No?
No new brands. My favorite thing I got this week was a YSL scarf for like $3.
Cool.
So that was nice.
Is it real?
It sold within like a day of being listed for
Wow.
$50. So
Nice.
Very nice.
But you
hopefully it doesn't get returned.
Sorry. Yeah, right?
So mine, the shoes that I talked about last week, the lady is returning them because they're slightly too big. So that's like fun stuff. Hold on, I'll be right back.
April, did you go shopping?
I went shopping yesterday.
Did you get anything good?
I picked up a bunch of pants that we talked about in my brand new Facebook group yesterday. I didn't know anything about them. There wasn't a ton of sold information, or at least I wasn't able to decipher the sold information. They were new at tags. They were made in Italy. The store tags on them said that they were like $250 a pair. So I was like, what the crap? Like, I'll roll the dice on these. So I picked up like 4 or 5 pair of pants, and 2 of them I got listed last night at $90 each. But they were, the brand is Gunix, and apparently it's under the Bruno Cucinelli trademark or umbrella. So that was pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, that reminded me that you're talking about the price, like on the tag, because it reminds me of when people find things, it's like pottery or whatever, and it'll have it like in pesos, but they
Yeah.
think it's in dollars because it has a dollar sign, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is like $780." It's like, no, that's 780 pesos. You got like, $20 there. Like, but you know, I think I went shopping. I don't remember.
I think I went.
I know I
Does it-
bought a bunch of stuff at Academy. They were having clearance, and they were doing clearance on the clearance. And so it was already on clearance, and then anything that was less than $10, then they had it half price. So I bought different collegiate stuff and some PGA Tour pants and some camo pants, and I didn't pay over $5 for anything. And
Wow.
yeah, I already sold one thing, and I've only listed like 4. So
I have to go check it out. We got one right down the street.
yeah, if you can catch their shoe clearance when they do that, because they do that with shoes, and they'll have the clearance all half price. And I used to buy shoes for like $14 or $15 that were normally $60.
Yeah, and they sell some good brands too.
Yeah, I did buy some Magellan winter boots, some gray ones and black ones, and they retailed for $29.95, and I paid $270 something for the gray ones and $348 for the black ones. So I bought all the ones they had.
Totally going up there after the show.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like store wide, like, because they sent me a text message about it. They because I signed up for their deals, and so they sent a text message saying like, oh, our clearance is half price, like so. But I'm trying to think. I went shopping last week trying to find roosters, and I only found 2. And then a friend of mine sent me a message of like this little county like flea market or whatever, and she's like, "There's roosters everywhere." And I was like, "Well, dang, I'm gonna have to drive like an hour because I've been to a couple different stores now, and I've only found 2 things, and then the other ones that I found, they were like broken." I did go shopping. You know what? I did, because I spent like $150, but I couldn't tell you what I got.
What's in that pack on the chair back there? What's that? I'm pointing at it like you can see, like what I'm.
What? This?
Yes.
Oh, this is a baby cook. I bought this a while back. It's listed. It got all parted out. It's a baby food maker.
Oh, I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, I've bought them. This is, I think, the 4th one that I've bought. And I just part them out because they get lime inside of here because of, like, lime smell because of the water. Because you put water in here and then it steams the vegetables and then it blends them and then it, like, makes baby food. And so I don't like to sell the base with it having all that because it's for food, so with it having that lime in there. So I just take all the pieces off and sell them. But I know I'm going to end the show and I'm going to be like, dang, I should have talked about blah, blah, blah. But I can't remember. My whole house is a mess right now. I rearranged my daughter's room, took out her bunk beds and stuff yesterday. It took me like 5 hours. And so everything that was in her room that she no longer wants is now in the hall.
Oh, wow.
Right there. And I can't even like walk in my hallway. It's ridiculous.
What are you going to do with all of it?
Donate it.
Yeah.
Probably donate it. Yeah. I mean, it's just like clothes she doesn't fit anymore and shoes she doesn't wear anymore and her Frozen stuff she's outgrown all over.
Oh yeah, mine's over Frozen too. She's
like, no. Because she sold she sold a couple at the garage sale and then she found her other ones and so yeah.
That reminds me, I actually got Zuri a tutu while I was at Goodwill, at the Goodwill outlet yesterday. It's this big, fluffy gray with blue trim tutu. She's in this whole phase where she likes to play dress up. and there was a big old snowflake on it today. And I realized, oh, that must have been something from the Frozen, when Frozen was real big and stuff. So I tried to take the thing off and kind of ruined it a little bit. But it's okay. She doesn't care. So she's been wearing it all day. She went to Office Depot wearing her tutu. And
We should do it as adults.
Wear tutus.
Right.
Yeah, like just wear whatever we want at random, just like pajama top.
Yeah.
Like, and like high heels, because that's what little girls like to wear.
That's a good video idea. We should like get together and wear these crazy outfits and go thrifting.
What movie was it where the queen did like she would like everything she did was all, and I was like, we should go to the grocery store like that. I was telling my oldest daughter, and like just like get the beans and put them in the car and be like really animated about it.
I'd be in the grocery store for like 5 hours.
People were trying to probably call the police thinking that we were on drugs. I've seen like crazy drug people at the store. Like they like to put things in their cart and then take it out of their cart and in the cart and out of the cart over and over again, and they got like a whole cart of stuff. Yeah, I've seen some crazies at the store. And you know, like the cashiers know too, because they're like they're looking like, and then they look at you and they give you that eye. You know? Is that only in my neighborhood? Okay, never mind. But so, did we have any good sales this week? My sales have picked up. How's that? I know, Robin, you can, but mine have.
Awful.
But as clothing sellers, April, you know it's slow time right now, right? Is it slow
Dear
time right now?
God, I have sold less than 30 items this month. It is painfully slow. I mean, I was just actually looking at it. My average price per item is crazy high right now. It's somewhere around $70. But as far as volume, I'm not moving very much.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried because I hadn't been selling very much like I used to, like, you know, a few months ago. And a few months ago is when I started selling clothes. So I started selling clothes right before apparently everything was going to slow down. And it's slowing down for everybody because it is the summer. So I kind of knew that it was going to happen, but it had slowed down enough to where I pulled up my eBay sales tracker or whatever that spreadsheet is called and was looking at my months. And for the last 3 months, it's went down and down and down. And so then I was like, well, I wonder if my items that I'm the number of items that I'm selling has went down, or if it's just my price per item that's went down, or what. So I went on eBay and looked at my items, you know, how much volume I was, and it's been decreasing and decreasing each month. And so I texted Deb and was like, you know, asking her, am I crazy or is this really happening? And she was like, it's just, I think I just needed to hear it. Like, you know, sometimes you just, you know, but to be, you know, have some confirmation from somebody else that, so.
Yeah, I just remember over the years, people during this time frame, come May and June, July, always when they're clothing sellers, and other sellers too, but we'll always start talking about that it's slow. And that it, oh, don't worry, it picks back up. It's going to pick back up in September. It'll pick back up. Like, you know, I keep. So,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because that's whenever people buy clothes for school and, you know, all this stuff. And so I'm like, I'm building my store up for the times where, you know, it's like, okay,
absolutely,
we're knocking it out. So.
That's what you do. You just build it up. Yeah, I mean, that's the best suggestion anybody can give anybody is, you know, when things are slow, just list it, because people will come around and buy it, because you bought those items for a reason. You know, you didn't just buy it because it was there. You bought it because it had a value, and, you know, that's something you have to remember, that, you know, you bought it because it has a value and you thought somebody would want it. So somebody's going to come around and want that at some point. You just got to have it listed. So, but it's easy to get discouraged when you're not selling, and then you're like, well, I don't, you know, I'm not selling anything. I don't want to list this stupid stuff. You know,
I think this is like the first month in a long while that I have listed more than I've sold. Like, I'm not listing very much. So the fact that I'm listing more than I've sold means that I'm not selling very much. And I just checked again, and I've only sold 29 items for a little
Wow.
bit over $2,000. But that puts my average price at $72 per item.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's the only way to kind of save yourself during these slow times is you have to really focus on the quality of your items and make sure that every sale is worth it for you.
Yeah. Let me see. Because my May is actually up. I'm at over $2,000, and that's the first time all year that I've been over $2,000. I'm at 2,200, and that's the first time all year that I've been over. So yeah, I'm going up, but I think it's also because I've changed I've changed back to what I was doing before. Like I've gone back to parts, and I've been buying the things that I like to buy, that I like to sell. Going back to shoes. I mean, I always sold shoes, and then my shoe supply got down to I only had like 6 things. And so I've been buying the shoes that I sell, and normally would be selling, and just really getting back into business. And my sales, you can tell, that I'm back to what I like, because I have the same amount of listings now that I had a couple months ago when I was moaning and complaining, that I wasn't selling anything, I was wasting my time. But my sales are getting up where they're almost compared to some months, almost double what they were with the same amount of listings. It's just different quality of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to get back. I'm just getting overwhelmed right now because I've got too much stuff, because I went shopping, and then I went shopping some more, and
I'm overwhelmed right now.
And then I went shopping again, and so and I've been struggling with just that normal thing that I struggle with about being productive, and instead of just sitting here and scrolling through Facebook. I really, honestly, if I could delete Facebook, just completely shut it down, I would. But I can't. I've got too much tied up into it, but I really would just shut it down, because it's such a time. So I was talking to Jenny Benny about that, because she shut her Facebook off. And she didn't deactivate it, she closed it. And she said her sales are way, way more than they've been in a really long time. Just not having that distraction of.
Wow, I bet.
Yeah. So we have really good. Tanya, did you talk about what you picked up? I know we got really off track for a second.
Like what I sold?
You talked about your DVDs. Okay.
Yeah. I thought we talked about what we sold. Did we not?
No, we haven't talked about that yet.
Okay.
I told you we got real off track. Sorry. I love your hair today, April.
Thanks. That hat is really crimping my style. I can't do it.
That's all right. Don't even cover up that hair. That hair looks awesome.
So are we talking about what we sold?
I thought Tanya was going to, but she just stopped.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to talk about it. So last week in International League of Thrifters, we had a clothing challenge, and I listed a whole whopping 2 pieces of clothing. And both of them were women's plus-size shirts that I had picked up probably for like $3 each. And one sold this weekend for $34.99, and then one just sold just now for $34.99. And I even had best offer option on there, and they just outright paid it. So plus-size clothing sells really well.
What was that for? You said
it does.
Plus-size clothing?
Yeah, one was a Catherine's, and one was the brand was Maggie Barnes. Maggie Barnes, is that it?
Catherine's is way overpriced in the store. Like, it's one of those stores that they price everything like $74.99, and then they put it half off. You know what I mean? And it's still too expensive, because it's not anything special,
It's
But
like a spin-off of Lane Bryant or something.
yeah, they just have bigger sizes. Like
Yeah.
they go bigger than Lane Bryant does.
I find a lot of plus size clothing at my Goodwill outlet, and my closet is so fun to play in now. I have a very bad habit of, you know what? This would look really cute on me. I'm just going to put it in the keep pile. So if your wardrobe is in need of revamping or something, start selling some clothes.
Right.
Only in your size.
Yeah.
Oh, I was bragging to my coworkers. My whole outfit today was $5. Everyone's like, "You look so cute." I'm like, "Yeah, my pants were on a dollar rack, and my shirt came from Goodwill."
I
So
love that shirt. I think that is the cutest
yeah,
shirt.
$5.
So what was your big sale of the week? I know you had a couple, right?
Who? Me?
Yeah, you.
I just had a couple of good ones this morning, actually. I had those picture frames that I posted over at my group. I sold two Natalini made in Italy picture frames. I got those at TJ Maxx for $12 each. And so a pair of them sold for $92.87. And I just sold an HP OfficeJet printer for $135 plus shipping.
Wow. Sweet.
That's awesome. I need to look at my stuff. I haven't looked at mine. How are your printers going? And if you want to talk about it, I don't know if you want to talk.
It was looking really, really strong at first. Like I think I had one sell on eBay before they even checked into Amazon, and then I had one sell on Amazon, so I was feeling really, really confident. So I shipped another couple off to Amazon. That may have been a little premature because I haven't sold any since, but I'm not worried about it. I mean, the fact that I sold two within that first, week and a half tells me that they definitely they will sell.
Yeah.
Like money in the bank. And I only paid $40 each for them, but my daughter's closet's full of printers. I have printers under Brandon's bed. Like there's literally printers stashed everywhere around my house right now.
You look like a drug kingpin, but only with printers. They're in the trunk. They're under the bed. You got one hidden under the floorboard. I had a couple good sales. Actually, one came yesterday, and I always love it when they come like this because, hang on, let me move it down so you can't see the person's name. Were these you know how I try to buy something that I don't normally buy, just to learn something new, do a little research on something, do something different. And I've been talking about that for years. I've always encouraged people to just buy something out of your norm. Take $10 and get something that's out of your norm. If you always buy clothes, go over and get yourself a toaster or something. What vice versa. And so I was exploring over in the curtains department, and so I ended up getting these Rugrats curtains. And I sold. I paid $5.99 for them. It has 4 panels, and I have them listed by just per panel. And I got an offer the day before yesterday that was offering me $30 for all of them, including shipping, because they're used.
What?
And I'm like, well, sorry, And I didn't even respond at all. I just left it. And 3 of the panels sold today, overnight. So for a total of $45. So that's
I love the reasoning that buyers try to give you. Like, don't
Right.
insult me if you want me to take your offer. Go
If
ahead.
they wouldn't have said anything at all, I might have considered it. You know what I mean? If they wouldn't have said, if they would have just said, I love Rugrats, I would have been like, I might just, maybe, but yeah. I sold another panel, because you might wonder about just having one panel left. I had sold one of the Lion King panels that I had, and the lady just wanted one. And I sent her a message just because I wasn't sure about it, and I was like, man, I really don't want her to get this and be like, where's my other curtain panel? Even though it says clearly that it's just one panel. And so I sent her a message, and she responded. She said, no, I'm going to use it for fabric. I'm going to make a blanket out of it.
Aww.
Yeah, so just having one panel doesn't mean that it's... And I think people like those curtains because curtains are so thick. They're either sheer or super thick. They're way thicker than sheets. So I had that, and then I had... I was really... I sold this on Friday. I'm sorry, you can tell I'm not here right now. My brain don't work right. Was this coffee maker. I bought it for $6.99. I sold it on Friday for $79.95.
Wow.
It went off to Lithuania.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I like the color.
They paid $70-something in shipping alone.
Holy crap!
Yeah, and it's not really like anything. I think it's just the design because it's not really anything special per se, But the person's going to be really surprised because I actually say on here that there's no lid for the carafe. I have it in a couple different places that there's no lid. But I actually found the lid because I kept thinking back. I didn't want to ship it yet because I was like, I really thought it had that lid. But it wasn't there. And then over the weekend I found it. So I was really excited that they're going to get the carafe lid even though they don't think that they're getting it. Yay. Especially since they spent $150 on this coffee maker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was my two bigger sales of the week. So, anybody learn anything new this week? No?
No.
I'm still fighting with eBay about the seller shipping discounts. It's still giving them my FedEx discount on SmartPost. And they keep insisting that it's something on my end, and I keep telling them, no. I said I went ahead and added it back on, but said to give it UPS discount because I never use UPS. So I thought it might override whatever glitch was in there, of them giving my FedEx discount. I was like, oh, well, I'll just put it for UPS. So then, I never use UPS, but it still did it. It still gave them my FedEx discount. And they're pretty insistent that it's something on my side that's an error. But any of you guys get knocked out of the new listing platform?
I did.
Yeah, they keep telling me it's my fault that I did something in eBay Motors, and I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm not the only one that got kicked out. So
yeah, it was weird though, because it seems like I listed something the other day, and it was back to the old format again. So I don't know if it like auto-corrected itself or what happened.
Yeah, mine's in the old format. It was fine on Saturday or fine on Friday, and then Saturday it went into the old format, and it's still in the old format now, and I hate it. It's so slow.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complaining about it.
But I hate it whenever they tell you, like, oh, you did something. It's like, no, because 1,000 other people do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's just go ahead and get started on the topic because I want to know. Because I know we talked about this before, but I know my brain doesn't soak in information like it's supposed to, so I want to hear anyway. What? So whoever wants to get started, I just wanted to talk today about like why do we sell like what we sell? Like why do we even get into what we're selling, or what do we enjoy the most? Like what's our favorite things to list or least favorite things to list, and why? And if they're our least favorite, why do we keep buying them? I see people all the time going like, I hate listing this thing. I'm like, why did you buy it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like that with clothes. Like if there's a good deal, like a good deal on the clothes, I just can't resist if I find something good.
I think that's a problem though. It's like, okay, oh well, the price was too good to pass up, but then you're never gonna list it. It's like the people that are like, I got it for 75% off, and I'm like, you could have gotten it for 100% off if you didn't buy it at all. Um, but April, why don't you get started? Like, what made you get into clothing? Like, what made you be like, I'm gonna be April Rakin and sell clothes?
Raking, honestly, when I got started, I probably started this about 3 years ago, and that is when Steve was putting out all of his products, and I was in the Facebook groups when sellers helping sellers before there was that huge blow up and transition and whatever happened over there. I was in that group. And I would see people doing really, really well with clothing, men's clothing in particular. I'm sure there are people who do really well with women's, but I saw these guys that were just making a killing in men's clothing. Um, and then the thing that kind of made me stick with men's clothing is I was working at the law office at that time. So in addition to hawking my wares on eBay, I could also make cash money by bringing stuff into the law office and selling it to the attorneys. So I don't know, and now I just love it. I don't know why. It's weird. It's not like my boyfriend is somebody that wears suits and ties. Like I can't get this guy to even put on jeans. Like he's sweatpants all day, but I cannot pass up a good suit. And strangely enough, I actually know the difference between a good suit and a cheap suit. Like just from a quick glance at it. We were out to lunch a few weeks ago, and this older gentleman walked in. And as he walked by our table, like you could just see me like sizing up his whole outfit. And I looked down at his shoes, and my boyfriend was like, I know you so well. Like when I saw him coming in, I knew you were about to do that. But I just like, I'm always testing myself and seeing how much I've learned. But I love men's clothing because it's pretty easy to make a good living in men's clothing. And some of the pitfalls that you're going to run into in the women's niche, you're not going to have with men. Like women will buy stuff, and if it doesn't fit just right, they'll return it. If a guy buys something, like it literally has to be awful, super terrible,
Right.
awful for him to return it. So 95% of the time, they're not going to even think about returning that stuff. So that's why I love men.
I think that's something that's just ingrained in the men that I know, because I know over the years, like they, like my husband, he won't return anything at all. Like it's just like, and until recently, he just finally started where he returns like materials for the job site that he bought that were too many, like
Hmm.
too much of something, too much tile, too much whatever. But man, if it was clothing or I mean just anything, it was we were stuck with it because he wasn't taking it back to, or he'd make me do it. Take this back to
Hmm.
the store. So. But okay, so you got your knowledge watching video, just so like over time you just kind of accumulated this
Definitely over
experience.
time. I watched some videos. I didn't really know who to follow at the time. Um, the vast majority of what I know today. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about information that's given via the internet. It's not going to last forever. Things change, markets change. So there are things that I would pick up 2 years ago that I will not touch today. Examples: Ike Bahar, Tommy Bahama, like a plain silk shirt. I'm not going anywhere near that. The territory ahead. I saw a shirt on the dollar rack yesterday. I'm not touching it. 2 years ago, I would have been jumping up and down having a party for those items. So I think that people need to, the only way to get good at it is to educate yourself, because no one can sell you a product that's going to teach you how to stay current and to continue to evolve.
Yeah, that's very true. That's why I had made a comment in the Reseller Stew. We had a new member that came in and said they were new, they were a new seller. And, it was basically like, read everything that you can, watch everything that you can, and then anything you don't understand, ask questions. And I think people stop learning after a while, and that's something I have to catch myself on too. Like I have to go back and reevaluate if something is worth me buying anymore, because what you used to buy 3 years ago is not valuable now, or vice versa. You know, there's been things that I have to, every now and then I'll go ahead and, it's just like Jell-O, right? I hate Jell-O. But every year I will try Jell-O just to make sure I don't like it still. I still don't like Jell-O. But so I do that with other products that I see often and I've kind of written off, you know, as things that you don't buy. But I'll go back and check every now and then. You know, you at least want to do it once a year. Has something changed in the market that now this is worth something? And I run into that all the time, where it's something that I stopped buying and now it's back. So, yeah. Robin, how did you get into selling what you're selling? Why do you sell what you sell?
Well, it just all depends on what is around me in abundance, really, and what is most convenient for me with a toddler 2-year-old who's very, very energetic. It works for me best to go to the Goodwill outlet because I can leave her home for a short little while and get a whole bunch of stuff to resell. And clothing is the main thing that I can get from the Goodwill outlet. Now, I will pick up other things if I come across them, and Zuri and I do go out to different thrift stores every once in a while throughout the week, and I still pick up my shoes and stuff, but it all just depends on what is around me. Like, whenever I lived in Tennessee, it was all collectibles and vintage stuff that you can't get anymore. And so that's what I started selling. And then I moved, and it was basically nothing but shoes. I got awesome shoes all the time. And now that I've moved for the 3rd time in the last, 2 years, it's clothes, and that's what's working for my schedule and what's around me and stuff. And so that's just how it works.
I think it's really important that you're able to adapt to your environment, you know, instead of just being like, I can't find anything.
Yes. Robin she's a wonderful example of that. Like, a hustler is a hustler, and you can drop her off anywhere and she's going to work it out. And I think that's sort of what you have to be able to do in this game.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy selling clothing, or is it just something you sell out of necessity?
I did not at first. However, I am also somebody who, after a little while, I'm like, okay, let's think about what we do like about this.
Trying to see the positive.
I have actually started really enjoying it because I don't have to worry about anything breaking. All of my stuff takes up like so much little space compared to collectibles and stuff that I was getting when I first started. And my wardrobe is like amazing and fun to play in now. And I'm learning a lot about just styles and fashion and stuff in general, which I think is also fun. So I like it. I like dressing the mannequin.
Yeah, I do too. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Do you talk to your mannequin? You're like, hey, how you doing today? Let's go put some pants on.
Right?
I have done that before just to mess with my daughter, though. She was giving me I was about to say 9-year-old. She is 10. She turned 10, like 2 months ago. Anyway, I was talking to the mannequin just to mess with her, but she thought it was funny. Gave me weird eyes. It's humorous.
What about you, Tanya? Why'd you get into selling what you sell? And remind us, like, what do you sell? And what is your Tanya's specialty?
Well, I'm just going to start from the beginning. It used to be art glass. Like, when I first started on eBay, I would go to the Dollar Tree and all these 99-cent stores, and I would buy art glass, and I would buy it for $1, and I'd turn around and flip it for $15 or $20.
What is art glass?
Like, you know, like paperweights, like the talls, vases, what do you call them? Like the single bud vases, or little fishies. You know, there's all kinds of different stuff.
Okay.
The perfume bottles.
Yeah. And then I got into shoes and clothes. I used to sell a lot of women's shoes. And then I discovered books. You know, they're so cheap to pick up, and they're so plentiful everywhere you go. and just all media, DVDs, CDs, all that stuff. And jewelry, I love jewelry. It's pretty. I like to buy it for myself. I like to resell it.
Oh, I actually saw jewelry jars at Savers.
Did you?
Yeah,
What
they
kind
had
of?
3 of them, but I didn't look at them. I was in a hurry, but I saw them there, and I thought about you and Margaret. I was like, oh, look, there's jewelry jars. I had
Yeah.
never seen them before you guys had started talking about them.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I didn't even see how much they charged for them. But I need to look the next time. But I don't need to buy that. Like, I don't, because it will just sit there. I don't know anything about it. It'll be one of those things that I'm just gonna look at and be like, I don't know anything about this, and it's just gonna go over there in a death pile.
You don't need those cookies.
I don't need to put my hands on them cookies. No, I do not. So, what are the things that you enjoy like listing the actual most? Like, what's your favorite thing to list? Is it the jewelry or is it?
You know, I go through these phases or moods. Sometimes I'm in the mood to list the books, and sometimes, you know, I get into the clothes. And so that's the great thing about what we do is you don't have to always be listing the same thing. You know, if you get burnt out on something, you can list something different.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I love that.
That's true.
I
Yeah,
need
that's
variety.
Like, I don't want to list this today. I'm gonna list.
I've been limiting myself here recently. If I'm gonna do a full suit, I limit myself to one a day. I mean, my mannequin's a pain in the butt. You have to take them apart, and the arms might fall off, and then there's the stand, and I just can't do more than one a day. So
I think you're a testament to like quality over quantity. You know, that some people might say, oh, well, I get overwhelmed doing clothing. I can't do clothing. It takes me too long. Well, if you're just doing 1 or 2 quality pieces, then, hey, that's not a huge issue, you know, as opposed to I see people, I'm going to whip out 30 or 40 listings a day, you know, like. And I see that, I'm like, whoa, you know, so, I mean, that really is amazing that, you know, you can make a full-time income, you know, listing, you know, 2 things, and you're like, all right, I'm done, you know, like, that's awesome. Because that's what I was talking about when I was talking before about how I used to have a lot less listings, but I made a lot more money, you know, and it really was just about, you know, what I was paying attention to and what I was listing. I wasn't just listing everything, buying everything, going, you know, oh, I can sell this for $12. You know, everything had a decent, you know, sell price. And so I put in a lot less work and I made a lot more money. And I'd rather work that way. You know, that personally, that's what I would like to do. So, and I think it's showing now that, you know, I still have a whole bunch of listings because I've already built them up, but that my sales are more than they were same amount of listings just a couple months ago. But well, I guess I can talk about what I like to sell. When I started out, I was selling plush and coffee cups, and the reason why I was selling that was it was easy to find and it was cheap. You know, I mean, you're gonna pay a quarter, you know, for something, and I didn't have a lot of money. I was a stay-at-home mom at first, and I started eBay. I was selling coupons that I was getting for free, and then because I had nothing but time, you know, I had nothing but time. So if I made $75, that was amazing. And then I started working as a merchandiser part-time, like 2 days a week. And then in 2011, I started actually buying things to sell. And, you know, stuffed animals was so cheap. It was such a low investment price. And I remember at the time saying, as long as I can triple my money, that's all I want to do. You know, if I can buy it for $3 and sell it for $10, like, that's amazing. You know, like, it's funny, like, how our minds change after a while. I'm like, there's no way I'd pay some $3 and sell it for $10. But at that time, that's what I was doing because I didn't have a lot of money to invest. I had very little money to invest in the whole thing, and I was just cycling my money back into the business and then, buying gas for my car and stuff like that. I got into selling what I sell now with my little specialty, which is parts, parting out things, because I had ran across a listing for, what was it? It was a coffee machine, I believe. And I was looking at the actual home machine, but I found a listing for a guy, his name is Pace Parts. He's in Texas. And I started looking at his store, and I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of money in parts. This guy is selling this part for $24.95, and other people are selling the whole machine for $15. And so that's kind of how I got started into doing the parts business, and it's been really lucrative. Like, I remember I was selling anywhere from $500 to $800 a month when I was doing stuffed animals. When I started doing parts, I was hitting $2,500 to $3,000 a month. It was a huge difference. But I really like doing parts because it's easy. It's really easy to get one machine, and you can take off the pieces, and you don't even have to like get a screwdriver out. Like, you can just take the removable pieces off, and you'll have four or five pieces in general on one unit, and sell it for $100, as opposed to $25, which might or might not sell the whole machine. Because when people are looking at parts, they'll look up the item, Mr. Coffee Frappe, and they'll put the word like part or replacement, and so they don't see the actual whole machine there. They only see like the part.
Mm-hmm.
So I like doing parts because it's easy, you make good money, and you serve a purpose because people, they need that thing. They need that item that you're selling.
Right.
So I don't have any problem doing it. That's my bread and butter. Like, that's easy bread and butter for me. And the things that I like actually enjoy listing, I don't know. I like buying shoes. I like buying and listing shoes. They're just so simple. But
Shoes are simple to list.
mhm.
They're like one of my absolute favorite things to list is shoes.
I love shoes as well.
Yeah.
Everybody loves shoes.
We love shoes, yay! Shoes.
So
Panel of women loving shoes.
we had a question in the chat asking, they're wanting to profit $3,000 a month. It says, how many items do I need to list before I even get close to that? It just depends. Like, it depends on what you're selling. I mean, if you're selling $10 items, then, or how much you're paying for them, or, yeah.
I heard Ronnie Hart say one time, or I read some comment he left a person who asked the same question, and he said that he believed you needed at least 600 items in your store to make a full-time living.
It's probably true. Yep. That's probably true. If you have decent items, if you got a whole bunch of smalls, then
yeah, that's not gonna do it.
Yeah, you'll exhaust yourself. You'll be exhausted. Like, you won't be able to maintain and sell through that many things to, make the money that you need to make. So is there anything in particular that any of you ladies like just absolutely won't touch? Like, you won't buy. You just won't touch. I will not sell that. I don't.
Yes. I will not buy anything high end, at least not to sell on eBay, like Louis Vuitton or any of those kind of brands like that, because I always get those copy infringement rights, right? Because for some reason they think all my stuff is counterfeit. So I just don't even take a chance. If I want to move it on eBay, I wouldn't even buy it. I might.
Poshmark.
Yeah,
Put on
definitely.
Poshmark.
What about you, April? You have anything that you just won't touch?
I don't think
Or you just
so.
don't like listing?
Not that I buy. I always find myself looking at, I'm not going to say the jewelry jars, but I look at the bags because I'm intrigued by them and I see people in the groups finding these awesome things in them. So I look at them, but I won't actually pull the trigger and buy them because I don't know anything about them.
I
But
do that too.
yeah. Like if there was a treasure in there, we would know it. But still look.
I do that too. Can I see those? And I'm just like looking at the bag, like I have no idea what I'm looking at, but it's cool,
Yeah.
That's funny. Robin, do you have anything that you just don't have any interest in selling or won't touch
I
or don't
have
like?
to say no, simply because my business has changed so much that it's like, you know what? If I have to sell it, then I probably would go out and, purchase whatever it is that I need to purchase to resell to make a profit. As as long as I can stay home with my babies, I'm good.
Right, I agree.
That's a nice way to look at it, definitely on the positive side.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that I just don't want
And
to.
you'll be surprised. And there's been times where I'm like, I really, don't like clothes. I really did not like listing clothes at first, but after you start making a little bit of money off of it and everything, then you have to, it's a perception change, a mind change, Okay, stop thinking about what you don't like about it. What do you like about it,
Right.
And then it's just, yeah, one of them things.
Yeah, I stay away from books. There's too many. I don't know what the heck makes one book different than the other than just having to scan them all, and that's definitely not something I'm interested in doing at all.
I am thankful I haven't had to learn anything about books yet.
Yeah, I am not interested in books whatsoever. Because
It is very daunting to think about, oh my gosh, what if I ended up having to sell books? Because there are so many out there. Yes, it is a very daunting thing.
There's hundreds and hundreds of books at the store, and it's like
most of them are crap.
This is true.
That's true. That's very true. But if it was what you were selling the most of, you acquire an eye for it. Like you know what to pick up and scan, and just like you know what clothes and shoes to pick up. So
yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't imagine trying to learn to do books, like where it's like I spent 2 years learning how to do books, and now I'm a book queen, and no. If I did take the time to learn book, I would write a book about books.
I've thought about it.
Because that's a lot of time you have to devote to learning something like that. It's like learning how, how April can learn, fabrics and know quality not before she even looks at the brand.
Right.
Stuff like that. My teeth are getting crooked. It's bothering me. I keep seeing it in the last month, like my bottom teeth have gotten crooked.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Insane. It's making me nuts. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? I don't need a gap on the bottom. It'll look crazy. Anyway. Does anybody have any things they want to touch on? Is there any questions in the chat that we missed? Or
I don't think so. I think we got everybody.
Oh, good. I know somebody asked a question way up at the top, and I kept reminding myself I was going to touch on it, and then I didn't.
We might have answered it in the chat.
Possibly.
It's
Yeah. I don't see it. Anybody have anything coming up this week they want to talk about? They got any videos, shows, events, anything exciting?
Yeah, Friday on Margaret's channel, we're going to be doing a little hangout about selling fabrics and linens and stuff like that. This week in ILOT, we're doing a linens challenge, and yeah, we're going to have Nadine on there. She's going to come talk with us. So.
Oh, that'll be awesome. She knows all about that.
Right?
That's awesome.
That's Friday at noon.
Central Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
April, you said you have a video coming out?
I will be doing a learning curve video late this week or this weekend, and then it'll be my last one for a couple of weeks while I launch my new channel. But I have a new Facebook group for the Resellers Learning Curve. So if people want to join that, it's actually shaping up to be a really, really awesome group. So I would encourage you to come and join us where we learn and share and have a good time.
Yeah, that's the Reseller Learning Curve. And then Tanya is on the International League of Thrifters?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I never get it right. Like, I'm always like, the
You just have to remember ILOT.
of reselling. No, look. I gotta do my sales videos, but next Tuesday, I guess right after the show at 1, no, it'll be at 3:15 Central Standard Time. I got invited back onto eBay Radio. They wanted me to do they wanted me to do a follow-up from last year when I did the List It or Forget It challenge, where I didn't go out buying and all I did was list or get rid of it. And they wanted me to do a follow-up on that because it's been a year. So yeah, so that's what I'll be talking about next Tuesday at 3:15 Central Standard Time. So we'll have the show, and then a couple hours later you'll hear me again. Maybe I'll do a video too, and I'll just be like influx of depth for the day. I'll be like Chad, and I'll be on like that 1 week he was on like every show every day. I was like, if you need to come on, you need to come on the stew, and then that way you could just cover every show every day.
Well, he tried.
I know. All right, well, everybody, thank you for coming out and joining us every week. We really appreciate all of our viewers and everybody that participates in the chat. If you ever have any suggestions for the show, make sure you join up at the Reseller Stew Facebook page, and we're always looking for show topics. We come up with them very last minute. And so, but yeah, so if you have any suggestions on something that you think will cover a half hour of time, you know, definitely post it over there. And were you going to say something, Robin? Oh, you look like you were. You look so cute in your hat.
I love her hat.
Anyway, well, happy birthday, Miss Tanya.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Everybody have a really great week. Thanks for coming in.
Bye.
Bye.